This is exercise 2.9 and now we are going to solve its question number 3 and 4. In question number 3, simplify, write your answer using only positive indices. So in part A, this will give us b raised to power negative 3 plus 4, which is b raised to power 1, and the answer is B. For part B, we first of all need to multiply the coefficients. So this is going to be 6 and then x raised to the power negative 3 plus negative 3, which is 6x raised to the power negative 6. Now, since we had to give the answer in the positive index, this will give us 6 times 1 upon x raised to the power 6. Okay, now for part C, 4s cubed divided by 12s raised to the power 7. Simplifying it, 4 3s are 12 and then 1 by 3, then s raised to the power 7. Now I need to shift this s cubed in the denominator, that will give me negative 3 in the index. So 1 by 3 s raised to the power positive 4. Since the power of s is positive, so our job is done. Now for part D, h raised to the power negative 7 divided by h raised to the power 4. We can simplify it like 1 by h raised to the power 4 plus 7, which will give me h raised to the power 11. There is another way we can simplify it, like to shift this h raised to the power 4 in the numerator first. So its method 2 could be h raised to the power negative 7. H is having positive index in the denominator. So when it will be shifted in the numerator, its power will become negative. So h raised to the power negative 11. So when we will make it to be having a positive index, the variable h has to go in the denominator, so that its power would become positive. So it could be understood in any of these two ways. Okay, and then it is part E, 2 raised to the power negative 3, x square raised to the power negative 3, which will give me 1 by 2 raised to the power 3, and this is x raised to the power 2 times negative 3, which is 1 by 8 x raised to the power negative 6. Now to make its power positive, this is 1 by 8 x raised to the power 6. Okay, then let me simplify its part G, x raised to the power negative 3 minus negative 4, because this division means the subtraction of the powers and the index itself is negative 4. So minus times negative 4, that will give me positive 4. So the value in the answer is x raised to the power positive 1 or x only. So that is its answer. For part H, this could be written as 1 divided by x raised to the power 3 plus 2. When we shifted this in the denominator, its power would become positive because of the change of the sign of the index. So this answer is 1 divided by x raised to the power 5. Okay, now for part I, a raised to the power 4 times a raised to the power 3. That would give us a raised to the power 4 plus 3, and then b raised to the power negative 3 and b raised to the power negative 2 would give us sum of negative 3 and negative 2 in the power of b, generating a raised to the power 7 times b raised to the power negative 5. Now to make this power to be positive, we can simplify it to a raised to the power 7 divided by b raised to the power positive 5. So that is its answer. Okay, now part J, x raised to the power 4 times 3, 12, then y raised to the power negative 2 times 3, negative 6 times x squared, and then y raised to the power 3 times negative 2, that is negative 6. Now x raised to the power 12 plus 2, both of these indices have been simplified, and then y raised to the power negative 6 plus negative 6, both of these indices. Okay, then this is x raised to the power 14, and then y raised to the power negative 12, making y to have positive index. We can write it down like this. So that is its final answer. Okay, now for this part K, uh, we can combine all of them together. X raised to the power 5 minus 2 minus 7. This got shifted in the numerator, so its power would become negative, and same goes with this x raised to the power 7. Then for y raised to the power 3, and this y raised to the power 4. Since both of them are in the numerators, so the powers would be added, and this y raised to the power negative 4, when it will be shifted in the numerator, its power would change its sign, so its power would become positive 4. So be vigilant while simplifying this thing. It was having power to be negative 4 in the denominator. When it will be shifted in the numerator, the sign of its power would change and would become y raised to the power positive 4, and that would be simplified with this. So now this is 2 x raised to the power minus 4 and y raised to the power 11, and now making the positive index, we get 2y raised to the power 11 x raised to the power 4. And finally, for part L, let's simplify them first, and let's simplify them, and then let's combine them. M raised to the power 3, negative 4 is in the denominator, so it will become m raised to the power positive 4, and for this n raised to the power 7 plus 6, shifting this in the denominator, then divided by m raised to the power 5 plus 2, shifting this in the numerators, and divided by n raised to the power 4 plus 9, because there will be a change of the sign of the index when it will be shifted in the denominator. Okay, now m raised to the power 7 divided by n raised to the power 13 divided by m raised to the power 7 n raised to the power 13. So simplifying it now, m raised to the power 7 minus m raised to the power 7, that would be 7, because there is a division sign, and in the denominator it is n raised to the power 13 minus 13. So m raised to the power 0 divided by n raised to the power 0, that is 1 divided by 1, the answer is 1. From here we can understand it in another way as well, that m raised to the power 7 divided by n raised to the power 13. When we shift this division to the multiplication sign, the later fraction would be inverted. That means n raised to the power 13 in the numerator and m raised to the power 7 in the denominator. So m raised to the power 7 ones are, m raised to the power 7 ones are, and n cube, n raised to the power 13 gets cancelled out with itself, generating 1 divided by 1, that is 1. So it can be understood in these two different ways. Now for question number 4. 3 raised to the power x is equal to 81. Find the value of x in each equation. 3 raised to the power x and 3 raised to the power 4. We say that since the bases are same, powers should also be same, so x is equal to 4. For part B, 2 raised to the power x is equal to 2 raised to the power 5, because 2 raised to the power 5 is 32. Now again, since the bases are same, powers should also be equal, generating x is equal to 5. Then part C, uh, 4 x is raised to the power x minus 2 equals to 1. Now since we can see that on the left side the base is 4 and on the right side the answer is 1, so we can write it down as 4 raised to the power 0, because 4 raised to the power 0 would again be 1. So making the bases same on both the sides, that generates x minus 2 equals to 0, simplifying it to x is equal to 2. And then for part D, 5 raised to the power x and 125. This is 5 raised to the power 3. And now simplifying it further, that will give me 5 raised to the power negative 3. Now the bases are same, so the powers must also be equal, x raised to the power negative 3. Now for part E, 10 raised to the power 1 minus x is equal to 10 raised to the power negative 2, because 100 is 10 raised to the power 2. When it will be shifted in the numerator, the signs of the power would change. So now the bases are same, the powers should be equal, 1 minus x should be equal to negative 2. So x should be equal to 1 plus 2, that is 3. So this is how we need to simplify them. For part F, 2 raised to the power x, this is plus 1, is equal to 9. So 2 raised to the power x is equal to 9 minus 1, that is equal to 8. So 2 raised to the power x is equal to 2 raised to the power 3, generating x is equal to 3. So this is how we need to simplify them.